Hello, everybody. First of all, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Nikos and Olga for inviting us here today. I'm sure we're going to have a very nice discussion with Mr. Bommidala. What I do want to say on our side, on behalf of the Greek government, is that investing in key infrastructure, in critical infrastructure, is a priority for the government. And in order to be capable to invest in key infrastructure, of course, you need funding tools which come both from the public investment program, but also you need to attract private funding. So attracting FDI in order to create, but also operate crucial infrastructure is a priority for the government. So we're very happy that the GMR has invested in Greece, in the Heraklion airport, in the airport in Kastelli, an airport which is under construction at the moment. In terms of completion rate, we're a bit more than 66% at the moment. But of course, apart from having a modern and beautiful airport, I would actually characterize it a gem. I think it's going to be the most fascinating airport in Greece and one of the most fascinating airports in Europe. It's going to be the second most popular airport in Greece. We also need the necessary infrastructure that will connect the tourists within Crete, but also will provide them the necessary water management. So we are proceeding in a very, very big operation regarding infrastructure, and seeking experienced international actors like GMR is extremely important for us.
Thank you. Good evening, Your Excellency. I'm privileged to be here as a part of Capital Link Forum, and good evening to you all. As you actually said, probably I'll tell you a little story about how we started and how we have come into Greece. We bid Herculean Airport in 2016. Then there was a change in the government and we were a little worried whether it'll go through or not. But then I was so very happy to see the present Prime Minister, who's been a very, very positive man. Every trip when I come, once in a few months, I just want to see him. And every time I meet him, I go with a lot of energy back. He is very, very positive, and his critical thinking, unlike general politicians where people say if there is any work, we'll do it. He goes deep inside, understands the problems. He's like a CEO. I'm surprised whenever I sit with him, he goes through deep inside, understands the problem, and tries to give a solution. That has actually made us to come and see what else we can do apart from airport. Okay, getting back to the airport, with our own little experience, I'll have to tell what GMR is. GMR is an infrastructure company where we started in 1978. We are into airports, we are into energy, we are into highways, we are into railways, we are into sports and special economic zones. We have roughly about 9 airports around the world operating. Capacity, we've got up to 200 million. Last year, we have processed about roughly 136 million passengers. Unlike a lot of other airport companies with 30, 40 airports having 200 million, with just 3 or 4 operating airports, we operate almost 135 million passengers. Another 4 airports are under development as we speak. We have a little story to tell, like every government or any government, there is a limitation for investment. As and when the private sector comes in, the private sector gets faster, quicker decision making. We also get a lot of capital. And for example, in Delhi, in 2005, when the privatization happened, Delhi and Hyderabad, two airports were there, and GMR is the only bidder who actually got qualified in both the airports. But then government has decided, let one airport be delivered because it's a capital city airport and a very large one. Then we had to let go of Mumbai to another company. But technically and financially, GMR is better qualified than any of the other partners. At the time of bidding, it was only 16.2 million passengers. And the entire revenue of the government was $30 or $35 million. But once the privatization happened, we invested almost $3.5 billion, completely made the investments, and as we speak, that 16.8 million passengers is up to 82 million passengers this year. And the kind of revenue share we pay to the government is roughly about $4.5 billion. The speed of traffic growth in India is one of the fastest in the world. And around 160 million or 150 million passengers used to be traveling to Indian airports that time. Now we have more than 400 million passengers, and we are poising to be one of the largest air traffic in the world. Coming back to the expertise, GMR is one of the few companies in the world, probably the only airport company in the world, right from designing, constructing, operating, and concession manage. We are there across the value chain. We have MROs, the largest MRO in the country. Last week, Prime Minister of India has inaugurated the world's largest engine MRO, where Saffron is putting up in our Hyderabad airport. Roughly about 1,600 engines will be maintained. So why I'm telling all of this is airports are economic engines unlike other businesses. It is almost like creating a new city by itself. In Delhi airport, one of the reasons for the traffic growth is, that's also to make you also little understand and help us to grow faster in Herculean. 4,600 hotel rooms we have with 13 hotels. Another 2 we are building. In fact, last month, my son signed with Waldorf Astoria. We are putting Waldorf Astoria with 500 rooms in Delhi airport. So roughly about 6,000 hotel rooms will be there. Why I'm telling all of this is, it is an economic engine. We have roughly about 350,000 passengers passing through our airports every day. And then we are likely to grow about 6 to 9% year on year. Delhi airport contributes to about $40 billion to economic value for the country every year. Within 20-kilometer radius of Delhi airport, about 1.5 million jobs are created. It may not directly be done by the airport company itself, but the economy is actually getting help. In fact, Government of India has made a couple of studies and they were really surprised. And then after Delhi model, they are actually emulating the entire thing across the country. 75 new airports are going to be coming into India. Now, I think 23 or 24 airport bidding is going on in next 6 months. I'm telling you because the ease of making business in Greece was much better than in India earlier. But in the last 7-10 years after Prime Minister Modi has taken over, one is speed of doing business, which has taken a more important thing than ease of doing business alone. My request is, even in Greece, that would really take Greece to a next level because the passenger experience is very important. 20% of the economy of Greece is supported by tourism, as you were saying in the morning. So I think that will be very, very important. It's a small advice as a friend that speed of doing business makes economy almost grow double to what it is growing today.
Actually, your point is extremely accurate, and one of the main issues that the Greek government faced back in 2019 was how we could improve the ease of making business, how we could improve our rankings in the Global Competitiveness Report and the Doing Business reports. And ever since, we have improved our ranking significantly, but Of course, we are eager to see how we could further improve it year by year. Therefore, reducing, for example, bureaucracy, implementing digital technology within the operation of the public sphere are some examples that have been very effective in this improvement. But there is more that we have to do. What I do want to say, though, is that if you go 25 years back, before the inauguration of the Athens International Airport, Spata was an area in the Attica region which did not have the development and the growth that it has seen after the creation of the airport. Yes, a new city has been created practically through the Athens International Airport, and we believe that this is a case to be in Castelli as well. But in order to make it functionable, you need certain things. First of all, apart from the beautiful airport, and I insist on that, and what makes the Castelli airport unique compared to any other airport has to do with the fact that we also have an archaeological site in Mount Papura. So we are finding an extremely beautiful balance between public works, like the creation of an airport, and maintaining and, of course, showtelling our very proud cultural heritage. At the same point, though, we are proceeding with important structural reforms, especially in the air civil service, where we have created a new public body which has a lot more flexibility in terms of management decision, in terms of financial decisions. We are supporting very much the aviation authority with the necessary employees, whether that has to do with air traffickers, air traffic controllers, or other necessary employees in all fields. So we are strengthening the air community. The Greek air companies are investing a lot in new airplanes. So next year we will have direct flights between Greece and India, which is extremely important. We cannot wait until we will have the first connections between Greece and India, and specifically through Castelli Airport, which will be extremely important for the country, but also for the local economy in Crete. And of course, we are proceeding, as I said before, with the necessary motorway, VOAC, the North Crete Road Access. Excellent. And we are using a lot of different tools, financial tools, in order to support this initiative. Whether we are proceeding with, in a part, especially from Agios Nikolaos to Neapoli through a public construction site, from Neapoli to Chersonissos through a public-private partnership, a concession from Chania to Iraklio. We are extending that concession towards Kissamos, Chania Kissamos, and we are studying how VOAC could actually end up to Sitia. Therefore, we will have in a few years a safe new motorway in Crete, enabling the millions of tourists that will be visiting the country every year in this new airport. And everybody understands, as you said, how important tourism is for the Greek economy, so having the necessary infrastructure is key to that. But when you proceed with such a strategic decision to open up to the private sector, whom you actually attract to that investment is very important. So you don't want any investor to come. You want somebody that has the strategic experience, has economic and managerial capability, and we believe that GMR is a great choice in order to develop the new airport to one of the most brilliant airports in Europe and in the world.
Thank you. In fact, I also want to just react on what you said. The success of any infrastructure project, particularly the connectivity, transport-related projects like airports, ports, or even bus terminals, railway, the connectivity is very, very important. In all our airports, wherever in the world we have done in multiple countries, the connectivity is one. Generally, when we go for bidding, we are not just trying to bid the airport itself. We see whether the connectivity is there in the master plan of the government or not. If it is not there, we would rather not build there or bid it. And repeatedly in the last 18 years, 6 airports of ours or 5 airports of ours, when the airport was just bid, there was no road connectivity as a part of master plan. Then we had to go to the government and very specifically tell, unless and until the contract is finalized for the road, let there be a bidding. We are not interested in bidding that. Whoever is the best guy in terms of price and delivery should win. So in Hyderabad, what we have done is when government has a certain challenge of making a road, some deficit was there. We as airport company went and actually gave some money for the road contract to see that government does not give viability gap funding, but my billions of dollars worth airport should not suffer. So we went ahead and gave money. In Delhi airport, we had water as a challenge. We actually have seen to it, worked closely with the government, and water is connected. Energy. We have a hydroelectric power plant which was put as a joint venture between Delhi airport and another company. And we have 180 megawatts of hydropower. Probably Delhi airport, by all standards, one of the only airport in the world which is powered by green energy, which about 15 megawatts of solar, 180 megawatts of hydro, of which 120 megawatts exclusively earmarked for Delhi, and 60 megawatts balance of power is sold in the market. And then when it comes to water, we have actually done it. And then we supported the metro, Delhi Metro to come in. Delhi Metro, roughly about 70,000 people travel every day. 70 to 80,000 people every day travel through that. Why I'm telling all of that is even for our Herculean, if water, power, connectivity is done, only then it will grow. And we also have to build hotels. We have to build an ecosystem for the people to come in. The important thing is experience of a passenger. That is missing in most of the airports around the world. If the experience of a passenger is not ensured, nobody would try to come in there. There are so many alternatives, so many hubs available around the world. India predominantly has been origin-destination airport. When we've taken over Delhi airport, we had roughly about 800 people per day as transit passengers in 2005. Today, as we speak, 22 million passengers are transit. I2I, which is international to international, domestic to international, domestic to domestic. So it is very, very important, and I am sure Herculean Airport in Crete, if we actually do all of this, I am sure by the time we inaugurate the airport, within less than 1.5 to 2 years, we have to start expansion immediately. That's what I actually foresee. In fact, I've been telling my operating team, airline marketing has to start 1 year or 1.5 years or 2 years before. Already we've been talking to some airlines. And I'm also trying to, as I told you in the last meeting to the Prime Minister also, we want to actually host a candlelight dinner on the runway to the Prime Minister with getting IFA, that Bollywood program into here. Roughly about 20 to 30,000 people will come in. That 30,000 is only the first trip, but then you have permanently few thousand people coming from India, which will be very, very important for the connectivity.
And another factor that I want to add, apart from the very innovative plans regarding the power supply of the airport and the water management, two more issues. First of all, the aspect of innovation. And I know that in many of your airports, you are taking advantage of the startup ecosystem, of digital tools that are unique. So this is something that is extremely important for us as well. And we do believe that the Heraklion airport, the new Castelli airport, will make use of all of this innovation ecosystem and bright ideas. The second issue has to do with the fact, which is extremely interesting for the Greek economy, is the fact that tourists from India don't necessarily come to Greece during the summer for beach tourism, but they are very keen in visiting the country in other periods apart from the peak season of tourism. This is extremely important for us because we are trying intentionally and extensively in the last 7 years to extend the touristic season in Greece. So it's actually a huge game changer if we are capable of attracting millions of people throughout the year, even in the winter months, especially in Crete, which is largely a touristic destination. At the same time, though, it does open a lot of opportunities for Greeks in India. I know that there is a lot of that the Greek products, and especially agricultural products, are becoming year by year more popular in India. So there is a lot of room for development and growth between the two countries. I understand that we have passed our time. What I do want to say is that I'm very optimistic about this strategic alliance, and I'm sure that next year we will have made important steps regarding the inauguration of the airport with all of the necessary air traffic management tools, the most modern and most efficient technological advancements that will actually make the new Kastelli airport the most unique airport in Europe and in Greece. So thank you very much.
One particular point before closing, I just want to tell you, one of the reasons which allowed us to come into Greece was the clarity of vision, the partnership, which was very, very important for us to come, and governance. And I also want to tell you, we are very, very happy with our partner, Turner. She is there around. George Peristris is one of the reasons for me to come back with multiple other businesses. We are looking into defense and other areas as we speak. And you talked about two particular points on digital initiatives. We have done a digital twin, one of the few airports in the world which has done a digital twin in Delhi and Hyderabad airports. Now even Singapore, Changi people have come to visit to see how GMR has done. I think a lot of, about 10 or 12 airports around the world also started, but the depth at which GMR has created digital twin is certainly one amongst the best, and we are trying to see, because that's not a part of our original decision or a design when Kastelli was bid. So we had to make a lot of changes. We are trying to see if it is feasible to actually get the digital twin done here. And as you said, I also gave a commitment to the Prime Minister that instead of a seasonal airport, I want to certainly see that Crete airport becomes around the year, 365 days airport. And as Indians generally travel to cold countries, to Switzerland and other places, so if Kastelli actually, if we are able to create a destination, certainly people would come in, and I'm sure it will be a round-the-year airport rather than a seasonal airport.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Mr. Bommidala.
Thank you.